This is the Guide to Georgia Outdoors. We are in the meat room and we're about to fry up some fish, so you already know that this video was a success. Now normally when I go fishing, I kind of go for whatever's biting, but in this video I'm targeting one specific species, a fish that has eluded me my entire life, the redfin pike. My grandpa, who passed away back in July, he lived in these areas his entire life, and he told me stories of him and his brothers catching fish in the creek that runs through our property back when they were kids. I've never really fished here much, but I'm going after the redfin pike today in water that's not really even knee deep. Gonna be throwing some red rooster tails because a lot of people are giving me advice on how to catch these fish, and I haven't been successful yet, but they all say the red rooster tail. We're gonna start here on my property and work my way down, and hopefully we can bag a few of these fish. If you like this video, consider subscribing because we got a lot of things coming up. In fact, less than 60 days, we're gonna be in Alaska doing some halibut fishing, king salmon fishing, a few other types of fish that I can't remember right now. We're gonna be there for 8 days, and we're gonna try to make a video, almost a video a day while we're there. So you're not gonna wanna miss that one, but we're gonna take you back to the beginning of the video while I get some of these clean, and then we're gonna do a catch, clean, cook, because I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, we did catch a few redfin pike today. Here we go. What we got? What we got? Well, was not expecting that. Nice little bass. This hole's always loaded with some fish, but not the species I'm after. Pretty bass, good colors. Look at that. Look at that. Another bass. That one's fatter than the first one, so I know it's not the same one. Right here in this little cedar creek right off the ditch, right off the road. There's a fish. Man, these fish are crazy in here. 3 for 3 fish and 4 casts. Warmouth. Man, another one. Are you kidding me? What we got? What we got? What we got? Another little warmouth. There's fish busting all over the surface of this water right here. I know there's got to be at least one redfin hanging out in here. There we go. Oh, missed him. There he goes. Hit it a second time. What we got? What we got? What we got? That right there is a fish that I've caught a couple of, but I'm not real sure what it is. I've heard government fish, government brim, flyer. Don't really know. He just went back, but he's somewhere closely related to a crappie. I'm not exactly sure. There we go. What we got? What we got? What we got? What we got? No shortage of these warmouth in here. Warmouth, kind of in the sunfish family, but fights a little bit more like a bass. I've caught plenty of them on trick worms over the years. There you go. What we got? What we got? Almost every cast. Little bluegill. Just not the species that I am intending to catch. This little red rooster tail, 1/16 ounce, is really doing the trick. I've heard that the redfin pike really like it. What we got? What we got? What we got? No surprise. Another warmouth. Ooh, something darted. What is that? What is that? That is it. That is it. That is what I've been hoping to catch for, oh my goodness, for years. That is him. And he's a good one. Let me get over here in the light, or in the shade a little bit. That is him. And that is a good one too. Dropped him. I knew when he hit that time, he was something different. He's got a big mouth, sharp teeth in there. I'm not sure if you can see him. My hands are muddy. But look at that bright color. My grandpa told me stories of him catching these when he was a kid in this same creek. And right here is where I've been told that Cedar Creek Baptist Church did their baptisms years ago. But once again, I'm just on the side of the road. My truck's right there, catching fish. Man, this has been a fish on my bucket list for many, many years. And they don't get big. Boy, is he pretty. That's a fish that's been on my bucket list for a really long time. Never caught one of them. I know some people catch them pretty regularly, but that was my first one. Pretty exciting fish to catch. Released him. Now we're gonna see if we can catch some more. Having to do a underhand picture right there. There's something pretty good sized fish. I don't know what he is, but he's pretty good size. That is my about 5th species from this little hole right here. And that's actually a pretty good sized stump knocker. I mean, I don't even catch them this big in the river on most occasions. That's a good sized fish there as well. A pretty stump knocker. Meaty, blue eyes. This must be a thriving ecosystem right here. Right there. Oh, that was another one. That was another redfin. He was a little bit smaller. Couldn't quite get the hook on him, but man, they bite so aggressive. And they just like hit it and slam the lure. They're real close to structure though, I've noticed that. There we go, look right there, look right there. Oh yeah. Oh, even better one. My goodness, look at that one. That is even prettier. I've heard that these are some of the best eaten fish. I originally wasn't planning on keeping any of these fish, but I hooked that one a little too deep into his gills. I've heard these are some really good eating fish anyways. So we're gonna keep this one. We're gonna go back and fry him up. So hate to see a good fish go to waste. And nothing wrong, nothing illegal with keeping them. So I'm gonna keep me a couple too. But I had that hook a little too deep in his gills, so we're gonna take him back. All right, I fished the creek a little bit and I feel like most of my bites were coming from up here. So we're gonna get back up here, see what we can do. There's something. Look right there. Another redfin. Gone. They've got very, very tender mouths, so you better have a net or know where you're going with them. another one. I have found the redfin pike today. There we go. What is that, a bass? Yep. This little hole is loaded with all kind of species. That's a grown one right there. So. I just had a grown one in my hands, fell to the ground. I couldn't get it before it fell in the water. Look at him. I knew he was there. Old redfin. That is too cool. It's as beautiful as they come. As you can tell, that was a successful trip. Ended up catching my first redfin pike that was of any type of size. I wasn't originally planning on keeping some, but they bite so aggressively, those treble hooks end up hooking in the gills on a few of them. And so instead of putting back a fish that may end up dying, we decided to come back. And I've heard a lot of good things about how this may be one of the best eating fish around. I went and got my dad, and he fished with me a little bit because he never really caught many of these redfin pike either. And we ended up catching a few. We brought 3 back to do a catch, clean, cook. So what we're about to do now is clean them up and get them ready for the fryer. Here's what we're gonna do is we're just gonna scale. And the scales are relatively small. You just go against the grain. You can use a butter knife, a spoon. They make a fish scaler. I'm just using the blade of my knife. All right, we got the scales off. And I hope YouTube doesn't ban some of this because they don't like a lot of blood and gore, but we're going to cut the head off right there. And I go ahead and tell you, just cutting through there, they've got relatively soft bones. So what we're going to do is work down this belly, open him up, and remove any of the entrails in there because that's not something that we want to fry up. Something interesting is this is the stomach, and I'm always interested in what these guys are eating. And look right there, crawfish. That is we're gonna make a video where we're catching a lot of these crawfish and fishing with them, but it proves they can eat, they get eaten by pretty much anything. All right, we got them clean, but that is not the last thing I like to do before we fry. What I'm gonna do here is make a few gashes because these fish have a lot of bones in them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a few gashes, and what that's gonna do is allow the grease to get in there and fry those bones up to hopefully to the point where you don't even know they're there. So we're just gonna make some diagonals. And as I'm doing that, I can actually feel it cutting through some of the bones. Just gonna do it on the other side as well. And what that's going to do is we're going to get some flour up in there, some seasoning. It's going to give us a better taste, but it's also going to make sure this fish fries good and even. Really looking forward to that. We brought the fish into the house. We're going to be using the deep fryer, but before we do that, we hit them with a little garlic salt, a little seasoned salt, a little pepper. We're just kind of keeping it simple. I'm not here to showcase my cooking skills. I'm more or less doing a trial on this particular redfin pike. One of the #1 comments when I make a catch, clean, cook type of video is people say you need to try redfin pike. So here we are, we're gonna try them. No doubt one of my favorite times of the video is the official Guide to Georgia Outdoors taste test. And the cool thing about frying them like this is you can just take the whole tail. And that's like eating a good fish potato chip. But I think I know why these old timers really like this fish. It is white and flaky, so let's pull some off the bone. If you can see that, that is as white and flaky as they come. I could feel a few of those bones in there, and they're right, they just kind of dissolved in my mouth a little bit. That is a great tasting fish. It's actually pretty firm, and it's a really white flaky fish. Kind of reminiscent to me of a bass that I catch out of a pond, but really good. And I can see why a lot of these old timers really like this fish. See if you can see that right there. It breaks right off of the bone. These little gashes really did the trick. That is a firm fish, very firm. Oh yeah. I don't know how well you can see that, but it is. And I can tell there's little tiny bones in there, but they're so small and cooked up so fine, there's no problem at all trying to eat them. So that is an excellent fish. I must say, of all the things that I've tried doing this YouTube channel, that might be one of the most impressive. I didn't know what it was going to taste like coming from these little slow moving creeks, but that is a tremendous fish. I can see why a lot of the old timers like it. The bones cook up to almost nothing, and the fish is like this white, really firm texture. So you got to get a couple of them to get full, but hey, that makes it more challenging to go out there and catch more. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you haven't subscribed, why don't you consider subscribing, because we got a lot of content coming up. We have, we're going to Alaska for 8 days. We're going in the first week of June. We're gonna be there doing all types of fishing, and hopefully we can bring some content to you, a lot of content actually. But if you haven't already done so, like I said, hit that subscribe button. Until the next video, this has been the unofficial, no doubt incomplete guide for Georgia Outdoors.